We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and the integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. So, this was the preamble, the first page of the Constitution of India. If this doesn't give you goosebumps, then what will? So, the word preamble. What is a preamble? A preamble is an introduction to the Constitution. It sets out the purposes, principle, and philosophy of the Constitution. So we can simply say that it is the philosophy of the Indian Constitution. Whatever would be written further forth is based on this preamble. Now, we, the people of India, is the first thing that is written in the preamble. So why have we written the we, the people of India? Because it indicates that the source of authority of the Constitution lies with the people of India. It is the people of India who are stating their aims and giving power, who are stating their aims and giving power to themselves. It depicts hopes, it depicts aspirations, it depicts that people of India are giving to themselves a constitution, which means their freedom. Having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a having solemnly resolved. Solemn means in a formal and a dignified manner. So this means that we, the people of India, whatever we are doing, we are setting it up in a very formal and a dignified manner, and we have agreed to settle to give our country, make our country a sovereign. So what is sovereign? Sovereignty is the freedom to govern oneself. Okay, so sovereignty is the freedom to govern oneself within a territory and can be free from any external control. That means that India is now a country which is free from any external control, and all the Indians themselves, they are free to govern and make laws. There would be no external interference of any kind in the functioning of the government. Okay, socialist. So what is meant by socialist? Socialism means that everyone must enjoy social and economic equality. Social and economic equality. What is social and economic equality means? Social equality means that everyone must have equal status and opportunities. There should be equal status and opportunities for all, be it belonging to any caste, any religion, or any sector of the economy. Then economic equality means there should be equitable distribution of the wealth and a decent standard of living for all. Now, we know very well that our society is an unequal society. There is nothing like equal distribution of wealth, because there exists a wide gap between the rich and the poor. So the poverty prevails, and we can see that poverty is a vicious cycle. Once a person is engaged in poverty, it is a vicious cycle from which he cannot get out easily. So for this development of our country, it is very important to bridge this gap between the rich and the poor, and this can be done by achieving social and economic equality. Okay, am I making sense? All right. Secular. Secular means that there is no state religion. That is, India does not have any official religion. Unlike Pakistan, which says that they are an Islamic nation, India has no state religion. All the religions will be treated equally, and the right to freedom of religion is a fundamental right also. So giving the religion as a fundamental right is a big step. So what does the right to freedom of religion say? It says that the freedom to profess, propagate, and practice any religion in the country. We can profess, propagate, and practice any religion in the country, and also every religious group in India can practice and propagate its faith. The government has the duty to protect the life, liberty, and property of its citizens without discriminating against them on any basis. Okay, so this means that India is a secular nation. Now comes the big word, democratic. So, our country is a democracy. We have heard from the 16th president of USA, Mr. Abraham Lincoln, that democracy is a form of government where it is the government of people, by the people, and for the people. So, a democracy is a form of government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So, democracy is a government wherein the people have the right to vote. Okay, they have the power to vote, they have the power to elect their representatives in the government. And what is meant by universal adult franchise? Universal adult franchise means that all the citizens aged 18 and above have the right to vote and hence elect their own representatives to the government. Okay, so this means that our country is democratic because elections are held after a certain period of time, and it means that ultimately the power lies in the hands of people. Okay, next, republic. What is meant by republic? A republic is a country wherein the power is not held by any hereditary ruler. The head of the state should be elected. He should be elected, and he should not be any hereditary ruler like a king or a queen. Okay, so this means that India is a republic. Yes, India is a republic because the president is chosen for a term of 5 years in India. Next, and to secure to all its citizens. This means that as a republic, India aims to guarantee all the citizens justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Moving on, justice. Let's try to understand what these terms mean. So, justice, social, economic, and political. Justice, what is justice? We have heard this word a lot of times. Justice means setting right whatever is wrong. This right is actually RIGHT. Okay, so justice means setting right whatever is wrong. Simple. Now there are 3 words related to it which are joined to it: social, economic, and political. So let's try to understand them one by one. What is social justice? Social justice means equal treatment to all the citizens without any social distinction. That is, it should not be based on any caste, color, sex, religion, race, and so on. Okay, that means all the sections of the society are given equal treatment and that is justifiable. Next is economic justice. Economic justice means that all the natural resources of the country would be available to all the citizens and no one would suffer from any undeserved want. Okay, so this means that all the people have equal opportunity to live in a dignified and productive life. They can lead a very productive and dignified life. That is, they can work, they have the equal opportunities of working without any discrimination. So this is economic justice. Next is, okay, so it's social justice as well as economic justice. Together they are called distributive justice. Alright, because they cannot be separated from each other. They are very much interlinked to each other, economic and social justice. Moving on, political justice. Political justice entitles to all citizens equal political rights such as the right to vote, right to contest elections, right to hold public offices, etc. That means anybody in the country has everybody in the country has a right to vote. Anybody can contest in the elections as pertaining to certain constraints, and they have the right to hold public offices as well. So this is our political justice. Next is the liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Liberty. Liberty means there is no restraints. There are no subjective restraints. Liberty, we can say liberty is the power of doing whatever is allowed by the law. Okay, whatever is allowed by the law, that is liberty. So we as Indians, we have the liberty of thought. We can think, we can prosper our thought process. We have the liberty of expression. we can express anything. We have the liberty of free beliefs, faith, and worship. Okay. Next, equality of status and opportunity to all and to promote among them all. Equality of status and opportunity, very simple, means that all the people are born equal and they have equal opportunities. All right, and we should promote them all. Fraternity, what should we promote them all? Fraternity. What is fraternity? Fraternity means the spirit of brotherhood. Okay, now why is brotherhood important? First of all, it is a gender neutral word. Brotherhood does not mean that it is related to a particular gender, but brotherhood has a basic idea of oneness, that we belong to one soil, one nation. Hence, it is fraternity is not possible unless dignity of each individual is preserved. Obviously, how can we prosper brotherhood if individual's dignity is not respected? So, first of all, the dignity of the individual must be respected. All the individuals should come together as brothers, and hence this will create unity. Okay. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. So the 26th day of November 1949, this day is also called the Constitution Day. Earlier it was called the National Law Day. Now it is called the Constitution Day. Okay. So what is 26th January then? It's called the Republic Day. Okay. So we have come to the end of this topic, preamble. Thank you.